Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by mountains and forests, there lived a young girl named Bella. Bella was known for her kindness and her brave heart. She loved adventures and always dreamed of exploring the world beyond her village. One sunny morning, Bella decided to go on an adventure. She packed her bag with some food, a map, and a small, friendly dog named Maximum. Bella and Max walked out of the village and into the big, green forest. As they walked, they saw beautiful flowers and tall trees. They heard birds singing and a river flowing. Bella felt happy and excited. She loved being close to nature. Soon they came to a river. It was wide and fast. Bella looked at the map. She needed to cross the river to reach the mountain on the other side. But there was no bridge. Bella thought hard. Then she saw some big rocks in the river. "Maybe we can jump from rock to rock," she said to Maximum. Max barked happily. He liked jumping. Bella and Max started jumping from one rock to another. It was hard, but Bella was careful. She held Max's leash tightly, and they helped each other. Finally, they reached the other side. Bella was proud. She had crossed the river. Next, they walked up the mountain. It was very steep. Bella and Max were tired, but they did not give up. They climbed and climbed. Sometimes, Bella had to pull Max up. Sometimes, Max waited for Bella to catch up. After a long time, they reached the top of the mountain. Bella looked around. She could see her village far away. She could see forests and other mountains. The view was beautiful. Bella felt like she was on top of the world. Just then, Bella heard a small cry. She looked around and saw a little bird. The bird had fallen from its nest. Bella carefully picked up the bird. She found the nest in a tree and put the bird back. The bird's mother came and Bella knew the bird would be safe. Bella and Max were happy. They had an adventure, they helped each other, and they helped a little bird. Now it was time to go home. As they walked back, Bella thought about her day. She had faced challenges, but she had solved them. She felt braver and stronger. She knew she would go on more adventures. And so, Bella the Brave continued to explore and help others, always with her faithful dog Max by her side. And every adventure made her even braver. As Bella and Max began their journey back to the village, the sun was starting to set. The sky changed from blue to orange and then to a beautiful pink. Bella loved watching the sunset. It made the forest look like a magical place. Just as they were enjoying the quiet of the evening, Bella heard a strange sound. It was a soft rustling in the bushes. Bella stopped walking. "What's that?" she whispered to Maximum. Max's ears perked up. and he looked towards the bushes. Out of the bushes came a small fox. It looked young and a bit scared. Bella knew she should be careful, but she also felt sorry for the fox. She slowly reached into her bag and took out a piece of bread. She threw it towards the fox. The fox sniffed the bread and then quickly ate it. "Hello, little fox," Bella said softly. "Are you lost?" The fox looked at Bella and Maximum. It seemed to understand that they were friends. Slowly, it came closer. Bella sat down on the ground and waited. The fox approached her and, after a moment, allowed her to gently pet its head. Bella smiled. "I'll call you Ruby," she decided. With Ruby the fox joining them, Bella and Max continued their walk back to the village. The path was familiar, but having Ruby with them made it feel like a new adventure. As they walked, Bella thought about all the animals in the forest. She realized how important it was to take care of nature. She decided she would learn more about animals and how to protect them. Soon, they reached the edge of the forest. The village lights were twinkling in the distance. Bella felt a warm feeling in her heart. She had gone on an adventure, made a new friend, and learned something important. When Bella got home, her parents were waiting for her. They were a little worried but also proud of her bravery and kindness. Bella told them all about her day, about Max's help, how they crossed the river, climbed the mountain, saved the little bird, and met Ruby. Her parents listened with wide eyes. "You really are Bella the Brave," her mother said with a smile. That night, Bella went to bed feeling happy and excited. She knew that this was just the beginning of many more adventures. She drifted off to sleep, dreaming of mountains, rivers, and all the friends she would make along the way. A few days after Bella's adventure with Max and Ruby, the village announced a big festival. It was a special time when everyone in the village came together to celebrate the end of summer. Bella was excited because she loved the festival. There were games, music, and delicious food. Bella had an idea. "I want to share my adventure stories with everyone at the festival," she told her parents. Her parents thought it was a wonderful idea. "You can set up a little stand and tell your stories," her dad suggested. Bella spent the next few days preparing. She made colorful drawings of her adventures, crossing the river, climbing the mountain, saving the bird, and meeting Ruby. She also prepared to tell her stories in a way that little kids would find exciting and easy to understand. On the day of the festival, Bella set up her stand with her drawings and a big sign that read, "Adventures of Bella the Brave." People started coming to her stand, curious about her stories. Bella told her stories with excitement. She showed her drawings and talked about Max and Ruby. Kids sat around her, listening intently. Parents smiled as they watched their children enjoy Bella's tales. Some people even asked Bella questions about how to take care of animals and the environment. As the sun began to set, the festival organizer came to Bella's stand. He had been hearing about her all day. "Bella," he said, "would you like to share your stories on the main stage? Everyone should hear about your bravery and kindness." Bella felt a little nervous but also thrilled. She nodded and followed him to the stage. Standing in front of the whole village, Bella took a deep breath and started telling her stories. This time, not just a few people, but the entire village listened. Bella talked about the beauty of nature, the importance of caring for animals, and how adventures can teach us important lessons. When she finished, everyone clapped. Bella felt proud and happy. After her speech, many people came to thank her. They said she had inspired them to explore and take care of the world around them. Bella felt like she was making a difference. That night, as fireworks lit up the sky, Bella stood with her family and friends. She watched the bright colors and felt the warm glow of the fire. This was the best festival ever, she thought. Bella continued to go on adventures, each time learning something new and sharing it with others. She became known not just as Bella the Brave, but also as Bella the Wise. A few weeks after the festival, as the leaves began to turn golden and the air grew crisp, Bella felt the itch for another adventure. This time, she wanted to explore a part of the forest she hadn't visited before. "There's so much more to see and learn," Bella thought. With Max and Ruby by her side, Bella packed her backpack with a compass, a notebook, a pencil, and some snacks. They set off early in the morning, the sun barely peeping through the trees. As they ventured deeper into the woods, Bella noticed the path becoming narrower and the trees thicker. The deeper they went, the more enchanted the forest seemed. The sounds of birds were replaced by the rustling of leaves and the occasional distant call of a deer. Suddenly, Ruby darted ahead, barking excitedly. "Ruby, wait!" Bella called, rushing after her. When she caught up, she found Ruby standing by a small, clear pond she had never seen before. The water was so clear that Bella could see the smooth stones at the bottom. Near the pond, Bella noticed something unusual, a small wooden box partially buried under a fallen tree. Curious, Bella pulled the box out. It was old and covered with moss. Gently, she opened it. Inside, she found a collection of old, handwritten notes and a few sketches of plants and animals. "These look like a naturalist's notes," Bella whispered, amazed by her find. She spent some time looking through the notes, which were observations of the local wildlife and plants. Someone had documented their own adventures and discoveries in this very forest, many years ago. Bella decided to take the box back to the village. This is important. We should learn from these notes and preserve them, she said to Max and Ruby. When they returned to the village, Bella showed the notes to her teacher, Mrs. Wilson, who was also interested in the environment. Mrs. Wilson was thrilled. "This is a treasure, Bella. It's a glimpse into our village's natural history. We can learn a lot from these observations." Mrs. Wilson helped Bella organize an exhibition at the local school where the notes and sketches were displayed. People from the village and nearby areas came to see the exhibition. They were fascinated by the connection between their lives and the past, all linked through the natural world around them. Bella spoke at the exhibition, sharing her story of finding the box and emphasizing the importance of preserving both our natural surroundings and the knowledge of those who came before us. The discovery made Bella even more curious about the world around her. She promised herself that she would continue exploring, learning, and sharing her findings. Bella realized that every adventure could lead to new knowledge and that this knowledge could inspire others to care for their environment. As winter approached, the days became shorter and the nights colder. Bella, inspired by her last discovery, decided to start a winter project. She wanted to create a guidebook about the local wildlife and plants based on the old notes she found, adding her own observations and drawings. Bella spent her days wandering through the snowy woods with Max and Ruby, observing how the animals prepared for winter. She noted which birds migrated south and which ones stayed, how the squirrels gathered nuts, and how the trees shed their leaves to conserve energy. Each observation was carefully recorded in her notebook to be included in the guidebook. Meanwhile, Ruby seemed to have a special interest in following animal tracks in the snow. Watching Ruby, Bella got the idea to include a section in the guidebook on tracking animals, which could be helpful for other nature enthusiasts and local school projects. As the project progressed, Bella approached the local library and asked if they could help her publish the guidebook so that it could be available to everyone in the village. The librarian, Miss Clark, was delighted by the idea and agreed to help. She also suggested organizing workshops where Bella could teach other children about nature and animal tracking. The first workshop was held on a chilly Saturday morning. Children from around the village came, bundled up in their warmest clothes, their faces bright with curiosity. Bella showed them how to identify different animal tracks, which trees were which, and how to spot bird nests. The children were eager learners, asking many questions and making their own little notes. Bella felt a sense of pride seeing the children so engaged. She realized that her adventures could inspire the next generation to appreciate and preserve the beauty of nature. The workshops became a regular weekend activity, and Bella became a well-known figure in her community, affectionately known as a nature guide Bella. The completion of the guidebook was celebrated with a small ceremony at the library. Bella presented the first copy to Miss Clark, who praised Bella for her dedication and hard work. The guidebook was placed in the library, and copies were distributed to local schools. Bella's winter project not only filled her days but also strengthened her connection with her community. It showed her that even a young girl could make a significant impact by sharing knowledge and passion. As winter turned to spring, Bella planned more projects. She wanted to explore new areas and perhaps even start a small local conservation group. Her adventures continued, each one teaching her more about the world and herself. With Max and Ruby always by her side, Bella knew she was ready for whatever new adventures awaited. Knowing each step forward made her little village a better place. Spring breathed new life into the village and the surrounding woods. Flowers bloomed, birds returned, and the community felt revitalized. The village was bustling with preparations for the annual Spring Festival, an event celebrating the end of the cold season and the return of warmth and abundance. This year, the festival committee invited Bella to play a special role. Recognizing her growing influence and dedication to nature, the committee asked Bella to organize a nature parade for the festival. The parade would showcase floats and costumes inspired by local wildlife, plants, and nature scenes. Bella was thrilled and immediately accepted the offer. With the help of her friends from the winter workshops, Bella started planning the parade. She organized teams to work on different floats. One would represent the forest, another the river, and a third the mountain landscape. Local artists volunteered to help design costumes that looked like birds, deer, and other animals. Bella's enthusiasm and vision inspired everyone to contribute their best efforts. As the festival day approached, Bella spent her days overseeing the preparations. She visited the artists making costumes, the builders constructing floats, and even the bakers preparing special treats inspired by local fruits and nuts. Everyone in the village was involved in one way or another, making it a true community event. On the day of the festival, the village square was transformed into a vibrant scene of colors and sounds. Stalls lined the streets selling handmade crafts, local produce, and delicious food. The air was filled with music from local bands, and laughter echoed from children running around. The highlight of the festival was the nature parade. Bella led the parade, dressed as a majestic eagle, with Max by her side adorned with small, fluffy wings, and Ruby playfully trotting along in a fox costume. The floats moved slowly through the village, each one a moving piece of art representing the natural beauty of the area. The community cheered as each float passed, marveling at the creativity and hard work that had gone into making this festival unique. After the parade, Bella gave a short speech about the importance of preserving their natural surroundings and how every individual could contribute to this mission. Her words resonated with many, and that evening, several villagers approached her with ideas about starting more conservation projects. Encouraged by the success of the festival, Bella decided to form a local conservation club. The club would meet monthly to discuss ways to protect their environment and plan regular cleanup and planting days. Many of the festival attendees signed up, eager to participate. The Spring Festival not only celebrated the season but also Bella's growth as a community leader. Her ability to bring people together and inspire them towards a common goal was clear to everyone. Bella felt deeply connected to her village and proud of what they could accomplish together. As spring turned into summer, Bella continued her adventures, exploring more of the natural world and bringing her community along on her journey of discovery and conservation. With each new project, she learned something valuable, not just about nature, but also about leadership and collaboration.